Turdsday. I couldn't think of a title, so I just threw on Turdsday. I don't know. It's just amazing to me out there. Everybody's assuming the House of Mouse is taking over Doctor Who, and it's like we have nothing that says that. Now, a lot of people are panicking because they claim they're going to have a little bit of input or guidelines, and it's like we don't know. Originally, when we heard about the Disney Plus deal, it was a while back. And originally, it was just going to be, about streaming and distribution. Nobody has said anything about them having any creative control whatsoever. BBC and Bad Wolf are pretty much going to go take control of that. But now everyone's on it's going to be like a £10 million per episode show. Folks, you're lucky if you get £1 million per episode these days. Depending on who they hire. Sure, the budget's gone way up. Now, instead of focusing all that money into one series, and like I said, I love Doctor Who, but now they're finally talking about there could be spinoffs. And the problem is there should have been spinoffs a long time ago. Like I said, but it seemed to me like, like I said, this is me sitting here on my opinion, my view on it. I think Class was put out there deliberately to fail so the BBC can say, look, we tried, because it was just a shit show on the way they treated it. Come on, they stuck it out on quote-unquote their flagship experimental BBC Three online, thing. And then, when they did air it on BBC One, they buried it on Monday nights starting at 11 p.m. How many young people do you know that are up at 11 p.m. on a Monday? And they put them 2 episodes at a time, which means you're conceivably up around 1 o'clock in the morning by the time it's all finished. So, they buried it. They buried it like a cat, cat burying a turd. They just, and Patrick Ness, like I said, I died laughing because he was all, look at me, I am fabulous, I'm a genius. Oh yes, doing all these nifty little videos and stuff where he's about the, he's got, such a major, creative erection that I thought for a second he was going to trip over it. Not to mention his, mountain-sized, swollen head from his ego, the way he was acting. And then, sure enough, just a couple months before they finally announced it's canceled, he's already bailed out. I'll put it to you this way. You remember those little movies about, the World War II bombers go in over Berlin and, drop bombs? Basically, he parachuted out of the plane before they even hit the German border. Okay, he was, I'm out of here, lads. Cheerio, pip, pip. They don't like it up them. And pull the chute. But seriously, I hope if they do get this big extra funding thing, yeah, seriously, I hope they do spin-offs and all that if they do get the money too. Because there's 1,000,005 things you could be doing with Doctor Who. Come on, you've got Unit, you've got, just don't bring in that whole no Oz bad thing. Leave that out. You have, oh sheesh, multiple companions who've wanted to come back. But the problem is, I think at this point they'd be afraid in investing in it. Even your younger companions are around the 60 mark now. And they're afraid of probably investing in it and having what happened with Liz Sladen, and that, she, 5 seasons in, and then sadly she passed away. And they should have been doing this a long time ago. Even RTD admitted a while back that he regretted it at one point, ending the Sarah Jane adventures the way he did. And I'm like, yeah, because there's 1,000,001 ways you could have explained, but he didn't want Sarah Jane to die on the show. And I'm like, look, sadly, it's a fact of life. Sooner or later, we're all going to face the end of the road. You know, no matter how brilliant you are, how rich you are, the story ends the same. And like I said, a lot of us don't like to think about it. But there are so many things they could have done. Like I said, I would have given a nice tribute, to Liz Sladen like they did, and then I would have renamed the show Bannerman Road, and either tried to carry it on with the ensemble cast they already had, or maybe add in one of the couple of the former companions every now and then to help out. Or like one of my story ideas I had for it is that's how you can explain how Perry returned to Earth if Nicola Bryant was willing. And then you have to remember, when Perry left Earth, the internet wasn't around, cell phones were a little bit on the horizon. And so you've got this group of kids having to bring this 80s lady into the 21st century. And you could have done a mountain with that just alone. Or, like I said, I'm not sure if they want to. Yeah, you just brought up a good point. Roles could be recast. Like I hate to sound, I promise I'm not sure she'd want to do this. Maybe she'd feel like she's stepping on her mother's toes. That's why I die laughing when everybody keeps going on about Sean Pertwee, stepping into his dad's role as the third Doctor, which he doesn't want to do. But maybe have Sadie Miller step in to her mom's role and claim there was some kind of, intergalactical Artron energy, revampification or whatever, or Valmorification, whatever you want to call it. And there you go, you're back on track. Shit happens, things have happened. But there's a lot of people who are willing to step in and do that. The problem is a lot of the actors and stuff who were on Sarah Jane Adventures and all that have gone on to other things. So, come on, I'm going to probably butcher her name. Anjali, or how's it? Mahindra? She's gone on to other shows, plus... Yeah, but like Sean, he didn't want to, really, step into his father's shoes at that point. I still think he doesn't want to. He's been in a lot of his own stuff, and he's done very well on his own. So, I don't know, kind of feels nice parking out here again, because now I don't have to rush to be out the door by a certain time. I love it. It was almost 60 degrees out here earlier this morning. Temperature is literally going to ride like a roller coaster over the course of the day. Oh yeah, reminder for you folks who tune into this every day, there's not going to be a parking lot tomorrow. Tomorrow we're celebrating Veterans Day, so I won't be, we'll be off work tomorrow. So, no parking lot tomorrow morning. Oh, man. Sorry, just seeing some folks meandering in over there. Okay, so that's a lot of what I had on my chest. Yeah, it's Turdsday. Yeah, and the reason why I'm calling it Turdsday is because one of the things I don't like about short work weeks, sure, it's nice because you're getting in there, and you got a couple days off mixed in, and then you get a 3-day weekend. But the problem is, that week tends to drag. Do you ever notice that? And I know today is going to drag because it's a 3-day weekend. So, Well, we got Thanksgiving coming up in a couple weeks. Chicago TARDIS weekend's not too far away. Finally going to meet Sophie Aldred in person, hopefully. So, well, all right. You asking about Susan? I thought for sure, she was going to pop up somewhere, but at the same time, it would have been difficult to explain why Susan Foreman would have been in the room with the companions when, we all know Susan got dropped off in the 22nd century Earth. So she's ahead in time quite a bit. Now, the laptop on the chair, if you folks have heard about the script for Power of the Doctor being released, that was supposed to be for people who attended remotely, who couldn't be there physically. There was this big fan theory going around that it was an empty chair for Sarah Jane Smith. And it's like, well, they don't want to acknowledge that Sarah Jane Smith has passed away in the show. So I went back and I rewatched that scene, and someone else, a lot of you caught it too, and there's an open laptop sitting in that chair. And I think it might have been the fact that, they didn't have a chance to wrangle everybody because they're off doing different things. Like, I know the actor who plays Ryan's off doing different things. Tozan Cole, yeah, he's off doing other things. I was glad they did get Graham in there. Bradley Walsh is amazing in that role. I'm really hoping they didn't cut out Bernard Cribbins' part and did a bunch of, because I know David Tennant was back in Cardiff not that long ago for reshoots on the 60th. Now I'm hoping they're not going to do that. Unless they were going to add scenes about Wilf's death. Maybe they'll have Wilf the character pass away, and that's what they were shooting for. But right now, by the way, you folks remember a while back, Mark called this one correctly, and I did too, because they had that picture go out on Instagram where it was Ncuti Gatwa, RTD, somebody else, and Andy Pryor, and they're in the BBC, what are called offices at Rothlock, or Bad Wolf 1, I can't remember. But they're in that room, and it's like, if it was just line readovers, why would Andy Pryor be there? Andy Pryor's in charge of casting. So a few of us out there called it correctly, and it turns out, yeah, we were right. They were casting a companion. They had people coming in to do line reads. So give yourself a pat on the back and go, hey, it was an obvious one. Otherwise, they're just doing regular line readings. There's no reason for Andy Pryor to be there. Unless they're casting somebody. But yeah, a lot of people also been going off about David Tennant being on the cover. Oh, goodness. We'll talk about that a later time. I just looked at the time, so I got to get up and get my butt moving. Folks, they had to do what they had to do. It wasn't David Tennant is being summoned back to save the sunken ship. No, that's not what happened. It's called Ncuti Gatwa's busy filming stuff. It wasn't going to be available till this month this year. So he was all finishing other things and doing other things. So he couldn't be available to film. Okay, I got to get going. Take care, everybody. Be kind, be calm, be safe. Enjoy the rest of your Turdsday. Turdsday. And I'll see you on the flip side. Be kind, be calm, be safe. Remember, no parking lot tomorrow. We're off for Veterans Day. So I'll catch y'all probably Monday if I don't pop in over the weekend if I have time. So take care, everyone. Have a great one.